Hey folks, today I'm continuing my project to do all the prior daily targets from CSS Battle, CSSBattle.dev, and these are from April of 2024. This is April 13th, 14th, and 15th. Let's get right to it. I think that the interesting thing to do with this guy is to create an element, rotate it 45 degrees, and then clip path out sort of these little sections here in the corners. I think that's what I'd like to do. And so the question is, what does that element look like, and what are its parts? So let's dive in. And I'm going to do the the really nice thing that you can do is display flex, align item center, and justify content center. With those two things, you can create that shape very precisely. So what I want to do, I'm going to empty the background and do a border 20 pixels solid in that color, something like that. Okay, I'm not sure if that's the right. So then the other, so a little bigger than 10. That looks right to me. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay, so if I put a background on it, then I have to also account for the stripes here. And I think the way to do that today, I mean, there's several different ways to do it. If I just do that, create the light color, I have options as to how to create the dark border. I could have done a conic gradient. I could have done two linear gradients, one from each side. Today, I feel like box shadow, inset 10 pixels, 10 pixels of this color. How about 20? Inset 20, 20. And then probably the next thing will be inset negative 20, negative 20. And then it's about creating the clip path, right? Like, clip path. So polygon, 0, 0, 100% 0. Oh, actually, what we want is probably like 80% 0, right? 80% 0, 100%. I know, 80%, 20%, and then what? 100%, 20%. 0, 0, 80%. And is that even correct? Actually, no, it's not, is it? So if we rotate negative, is that what we want? Yeah, that's what we want. Okay, so yeah, we'll do it that way. That's fine. Okay, so 80 is not enough. How about 85%? No, 80 too much. 75%. 76, 37, 73. Let's try 73. 73, and that makes us what, 27%? Probably. And then 27% there. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 73%, 0, 73%, 27%, 100%, 20%, and then 100%, 100%. Okay, how can we not see it? There we go. Now I can see it. All right, so what are the next numbers? It's going to be 27%, 100%, 27%, 73%, 0, 73%. That, I think, does it. Let's find out. .99%. It's awfully close. So what is the problem? Is this in fact a little bit odd? So we don't have those margins. We just have some little sources of error here that are quite irritating. Could it be how 26. Oh, it's tricky. We got an asymmetric error here. 99.9%. Not terrific. How about 19.5%? 20.1. So 2, 3. Border and border width. Just looking at these differences. And not liking them. Not enjoying this one. And I unfortunately don't remember how I did this one. All right, so I think that I proved that I don't like this solution. Let's go blank and do my four quadrant solution. So we got the height is going to be 150. Width is going to be 100. Margin on everything is 0. Background of the body is this dark green. Okay, and we're going to display flex and flex wrap. Flex wrap. All right, and then we're going to do a linear gradient. 45 degrees. Actually, it might be up, and then transparent. There, you can see that. So the width is actually 200, and now we've got our quadrants. We're going to have the scale of var -x and var -y. Each one has a default of 1. And x is -1 when it's got an x attribute, and y -y is -1. All right, so this is the thing we've got. Minus, okay. Okay, great. 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. 36, 35, 34, 35. 35 is fine. All right, and then we're going to go to 40 pixels, and then that color again, and then transparent again. And then transparent again. Okay. So that's what we got now. So this needs to be bigger. 5, 3, 4, 5. A little bit more. How about 70? About 75. 75. All right. And then the next thing we do is we cover that up. Or we could do the clip path, which I was just describing. Why not a click path? I was eager to do a click path, so let's do a click path. Polygon. And it's 0, 0, 50%, 0, 100%, 80%, 100%, 100%, and then 0, 100%. Well, that's the, I mean, you can kind of see that. I just screwing around with the number there. How about 70? Okay. And now this is about the angle. 69, 68. Let's try that. Is it perfectly symmetrical? It sure doesn't seem like it. Pretty maddening. Pretty darn maddening. Okay, so let's not do the polygon, and instead, let's do another linear gradient. Linear gradient. Coming up from the top corner, which will be what? Red at 135 degrees. The angle comes first. Minus 185 degrees. Okay, and then like 20 pixels, 0. Something like that. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70, 21. So instead of that red, it's that. Let's try that. A lot of work for this one. So that is 100% match. A lot of work for this one, and the reason, because the 45-degree angles and anything with a curve, and not a curve in this case, ends up being just a little bit tricky to get the parser to really like your solution. I'm sure there are other ways to do this. This is the way I chose to do it today. Well, minify, unit replace, all of that. Submit. This is probably identical to whatever I did before too, because hey, you run into the same things. Oh, well, this is a slightly better score than I got in the past. Well, that's a fun one. All right, next. Okay, definitely like this pattern a lot. I think it has lots of real interesting opportunities on it, and I really appreciate it. Okay, so I think I kind of want to do the HTML body trick. So I will explicitly write out the margins and what the HTML and body. But then once I'm done, assuming I can get it done, we will adjust. Okay, so we put the solids on here, and we just got to set a width, or a height rather. 5, yeah, sure, great. 7, 8, 100, and that is our body. So what are the pieces to get this done? I think it's a radial gradient, right? Always fascinated when I see that autocomplete as radiation. I don't know what that is, but it's odd. Okay, so 40 pixels of some color, and then transparent. All right, so what happens if you do 50%, 50%, and then call it 50% as the, I think that's how we get that pattern, and that's great. Now, the issue is we got to figure out how to do the colors in the background. So I'm setting that color, and really what I don't want, I want to set transparent through the holes, there are the holes, and then cover it with this pink color. So then whatever colors I do is what I want. And so the color thing I want, I believe, is a conic gradient. That's something like this. Yeah, so it's this, and then only, so a conic gradient that is this shape and then repeats. So, because if I can do that, yeah, that's what I want. So I will do this very intentionally. And I believe it's at 50% 0, and then it's 50% wide, and then it's 75% tall, and then it doesn't repeat. Okay, what am I doing? This is completely Conic gradient, so I've once again misspelled Conic, okay? And then here's the 75%. So that's the shape I want to do, and I want to make it repeat on the x-axis, like that. If I do this right, and then I think that it's not 50%, it's, so that's really acting if it's, so 50%, 25%, 50. Oh, okay, so I have the numbers wrong. What is it, 25%? Yeah, I think that's right. Or no. It should be, what should it be? Oh, so it, I believe this is 75% where I want. Yeah. And it should be this color first. No, that's not right. Apologies, I'm explaining this poorly. I think what it means is, right, you need blue, 25%, 0, 50%. Don't put your commas. All right, this is where we're going. Oh, and it should be 75%. Blue, and then it's 50. 50. That's what I want. That is what I want for sure. Okay, so to make this work, I need to move, what is this, 0? And let's make that height different. So what I want to do is cover that consistently. 70%, 80%, 70, 60. Now, so I'm trying to get away with not, what I'm trying to do is get away with not using an at, and I think I can. At 50%, 33%. Oh, and worse, I still need to deal with the pink parts. So I'm actually doing this cart before the horse. So forget everything I just said. Okay, we're gonna put red in the background. Okay, and now we need to cover these components first. So let's do a conic gradient, which is transparent, 75% round, and then covers with pink. It looks like that. And it should be, what, 66% tall at the corner. That's the background position. 67%, let's say. And 67%. Close. And we need an at what, 20%, 20%, 30, 40. At 20, 23, 24, 25. just having trouble today. Okay, so that width is wrong. 70, 21, 22. Okay. 72%, I believe, is what I want. 30, 40, and 40. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. I know. How do you do this, Joe? How do you keep your sanity in the face of certain failure? All right. Okay, so here, this is the gradient we were starting on. Add a comma. Plop it into place. And now we have we basically have what we want. But then we need another backup color. So instead of blue, it's this clump. So we need this and this. And then once we have that, we can, instead of this red, we'll do transparent. And then we put this pink in the background, and then we've got the shape. That was a lot of work for, it's a fine solution. It's fine. And it's certainly, you know, I enjoy this kind of work a lot. This is among my favorite kinds of HTML and CSS to do. So let's do what I said we were going to do, which will minify this and use the ampersand, right? And then use the star as a descendant. And then we've got it, I believe. Yes, we do. Drop the final semicolon. We minify. Trim a little bit more. And submit, and we're done. So a lot of code there that I'm not explaining too much, but that's a nice solution. It's one radial gradient to get the circles, and then two conic gradients, one of which is just on the x-axis to get this dark color, and then another conic gradient to cover this pink part. Are there other ways to do this? Yes, there are. 100% there's ways to do this. You could do this with all those elements. Totally could do that with elements. You could do this with elements with radial gradient, with radial border radiuses. Totally another way to do that. Enough talk. All right, let's do the next one. All right, background, light green, border is what, 30 pixels solid, and it's the dark color. Hello, there we go. There it is. So what margins do we need on this fella to put this into place? Well, let's do, and I think we'll do that middle stripe. We'll do that last. I believe that's a linear gradient on the body. 70, 71, 70, I think, yeah. 76, 5, 55, 56, 57. All right. Border radius. Pixels, and then let's give it a height 2, 3, 2, 3. There it is. Great. All right, so right now we have a pink color. Now, wouldn't it be great if there was a way to reverse this? It probably is. I think there are filters that we could apply, literally filters with, you know, SVG filters and other kinds of mechanisms to do that. But we're not going to do that today. We're not doing anything too fancy. But we will do a linear gradient, which is, what is it? It's going to be light green 50%, dark green 50%. It's coming in at a 90-degree angle, and the width is, it's at 0. 0, 0, and then it's what, like it's 40 pixels wide, something like that. Right there's stripes. 5, 6, 7, something along those lines. How about 60? There it is. Love it. So this is linear gradient. And this is going to be light. And it also needs to come in from 90-degree angle. All right. So what, 100, 200? No. 180, 185. 0. If it's 185, it's probably 215 because it's 30 pixels wide. And then just that color again. We could do sizing and repeat and those kinds of things, but this is fine. It's a fine solution. Let's see if we get 100% match. Curious to see. Yes, we did. That's great. All right, so that's all the pieces and the parts. Certainly a fun one. Quickie in a lot of ways. We made it taller than it needed to be, right? We also have the border going off because there really is a big curved border down here. We're ignoring that. We could also not do that. We would, in real life, we would get a scroll bar here that would interfere with the look of things, and then we would need to probably do a overflow, hidden, something like that. In this case, we just get to play around and have a little fun. Resubmit, all done. Not doing the HTML and body tricks and using ampersands and those things, but this is a fine solution. There's no really wrong way to do these things. If you can match it 100%, you are a winner. You have done great. These are a lot of fun to do, whichever way you go. I enjoy doing them. I hope you enjoy watching these videos. Hey, make some HTML and websites today. The web and CSS are just great, and they are freely available for you to use. Everybody's carrying around web browsers. Send them a web page. Send people a web page. It's really a lot of fun. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.